I've been getting a lot of messages from Etsy sellers asking me if they should use alt text in their Etsy images to improve their SEO. Is this a secret hack that's going to help explode your listings overnight, or is it an Etsy myth that'll just waste your time? In this video, I'm breaking it all down. I'll show you exactly what Etsy actually says about alt text, how to check what yours says right now, and whether or not it's worth your time. And I'll share 5 helpful SEO tips that are proven to help you get found in search. And this is actually week 2 of Talk Shop Tuesday, where I take your questions from down in the comments and actually make a YouTube video answering them every Tuesday. So if you have a question that you'd like answered, put it down in the comments below, and I might just grab it for one of our upcoming Talk Shop Tuesdays. And first of all, if you're new to this, let's talk about what alt text even is. All alt text is a short description of what an image actually shows in it. It's mostly used by screen readers and people who have visual impairments who need help actually seeing what's in the images of your Etsy listing. And yes, in some cases across the internet, alt text can help in the SEO of your product to help it get found on places like Google. But does it actually help your Etsy SEO? Coming over here to Etsy, let me just show you where you actually add something like the alt text. When you're uploading your mockups to your listing, you can click on one of the images and scroll down, and you'll see this add alt text box right here towards the bottom. And typically when you click this, it's just going to be empty. And then if it is, Etsy will fill that in for you, which let's head over to the article Etsy actually released about alt text to understand a little bit more about what they have to say. I'll link this article down in the description in case you want to check it out for yourself. But at the top here, you can see it says Etsy might add alt text to US sellers' listing images to make them more accessible to users with disabilities. It says images that already have alt text added will not be altered by Etsy, but alt text added by Etsy can be edited at any time. And so when you come down here to take a look through this article, they tell you how to write a good description, how do you describe size charts, a bunch of different stuff. And then when you actually get down here to the bottom, it says what impacts my SEO. So what they say is adding your shop name, listing title, listing description, or other attributes, tags, SKUs, etc. to the alt text won't be an additional benefit to your listing's SEO, as these items are already part of your shop and listing pages. Alt text is used to describe the photo for someone who cannot see it. This can include search engine bots. So should you actually go add alt text to all of your images? I would say no. Etsy is doing that for you, and let me show you what you'll probably have added as your alt text if you do nothing. Let's come over here to Etsy and let me show you how to tell what your alt text already says. If you come to your Etsy shop as if you're a customer and just hover over the actual image of one of your listings, you'll see this black box come up with text, and that is your alt text. And after looking at a ton of stores, I've found that all of them, from what I've found, have the title of the product as their alt text. So that is what Etsy is automating the alt text as. If you don't enter anything in, I've looked at my own listings, and this has been true for myself, they're just putting the title, which means you're already getting those keyword hits automatically. So I definitely wouldn't be copying and pasting your title into the alt text, since that's what Etsy's already doing. So unless you're wanting to write a really nice description using totally different keywords than what you're already using in your title, your tags, your description, etc., then that's the only time that maybe you'd get a little bit more SEO from it. But I really don't recommend that as a real strategy to get more sales, since most of the keywords someone's going to type in to find your product are probably already in your titles, tags, and description. And that's where Etsy really goes for the most part to figure out if your listing is a match for what a customer searched. So what does work for Etsy SEO and is proven to actually get you seen in the search algorithm? I'll rapid fire 5 quick tips to help you get seen in the search results. Number 1 is put the most important keywords first. So if you're selling, say, a first grade teacher shirt, that's what I want the beginning of your title to say. If you really sit down and research a ton of bestsellers on Etsy, you'll find that the most important keyword to what someone's actually going to type in that describes that item is most likely the first thing in their title. So add that to your to-do list. Number 2 is to go for the exact keyword match. Now, some people like to try and fit in as many random keywords as they can in their titles because while Etsy does search all of your keywords and can match them up in different combinations, so you come up in hundreds of different searches when you only have a 140 character title and 13 tags, I do recommend trying to go for an exact match. So if you see that most of the best sellers for a certain product are saying things in a certain order, like first grade teacher shirt, then try and match exactly what they're typing in the exact same order as well, especially for the most popular searches, because that is one of the criteria that Etsy looks for. Is it an exact match or is it kind of a relevant match? Number 3 is don't overthink SEO. I really don't think that SEO is the most important part of your business. Try to focus more on finding niches that are selling today on Etsy that you can post in as well, because customers are currently shopping for and purchasing those items. And if you need help with that, I do have my monthly trend reports available. And when you do go make your SEO, look at what the top 3 to 5 best sellers are using in their titles and tags and use those same keywords in yours. Don't overthink it. Those listings are best sellers because they have the keywords that customers are shopping and buying. So just use those ones as well. Mix together what you see the top sellers using and make your own title and tags. Number 4 is to make listing videos. Etsy actually shares right in the listing page that listings with videos get 50% more sales than listings with just photos. And at this point, only 28% of sellers are even making listing videos, so this can make a great way to help your listings stand out in the search results, because as you scroll through Etsy, if you hover over a listing that has a video, it'll start to autoplay, and that does really catch a customer's attention. And guess what? I actually built a software called Simply Listed that automates creating your mock-up images for you, and it can actually automatically turn those mock-up photos into a video slideshow for you and upload it directly to Etsy as well. So shameless plug, but seriously, it's such a time saver. And number 5 is to remember to always check your trademarks. Just this week, I had multiple students get the exact same trademark infringement from a brand new term that got trademarked really recently. So one tip I have for you is even if you check your trademarks, things can still get trademarked down the line. And so my best hack for this is to actually join a newsletter called tradesnark.com and join their newsletter. They'll email you every week with the different things that have gotten trademarked in different categories so that you know if there's a new trademark for a term that you're using in your store. Set aside 5-10 minutes a week to just glance through this list so that way you can catch them before you actually get a trademark infringement. And here's the real secret. Building a successful Etsy business isn't about SEO hacks or different tips or tricks. It's about consistency. I can promise you there's not just one thing that you're missing that would completely move the needle. It's like trying to work out one time and wondering why you don't have abs yet. It's all about building the habits of showing up every day, doing the right things, and staying ahead of trends. So let's focus on actions that actually move the needle. So again, should you edit all of your listings and add alt text? I'd say no. Unless you're worried about making it more accessible, then go right ahead. But if you want to grow your shop and get more traffic, then your best use of time is listing for things that are going to be selling 8 to 12 weeks from now, and listing for things and designing for things that are selling right now on Etsy. And if you're not sure what people are going to be searching for in 8 to 12 weeks or what people are buying right now, then again, I do have a link down in the description for my monthly trend reports where I break down all of that for you to make it so much faster and easier. And don't forget to comment down below if you have a question that you'd like me to answer on one of my Talk Shop Tuesdays in the future. Thanks for watching all the way until the end, and I'll see you in the next one.